Tickets for Taylor Swift's concert here in Singapore have sold out in 8 hours. Fans in Singapore were queuing for nearly 2 days at post offices island-wide to watch her live. In the online space, over 2.5 million others joined them. And as Clara Lee finds out, it's been a roller coaster of emotions.
After spending 40 hours waiting in line together, these two fans walked away with their $300 tickets and a new friend. Others weren't so lucky.
We tried all the method, like the pre-sale, the reserve, you queue up also, then we didn't get it. Yeah.
We actually queued up for 12 plus hours, and we sacrificed our sleep, and we kind of skipped school.
When CNA visited this branch at Ang Mo Kio at about 6 a.m., 30 people were already camped outside hours before sales started. And it wasn't just young fans in the queue.
我们在电脑、手机上都操作过，但是没有选到票，所以心情很沮丧。但是听到说有这么一次机会，所以大家都抓紧，免得这次机会又失落了，心情很沮丧，而且不好，想让他开心而已了。
We tried the online system, but it was very hard to get queue numbers. The queue numbers were all I think ours were all 300,000 or 800,000. So we were thinking that post office will have a better chance.
Half of the service counters here were reserved for fans to purchase tickets. Post office staff even handed out slips of paper for fans to fill out their booking details while waiting. But that didn't stop things from spinning out of control. Fans waiting in line here expected to be in and out of the post office within 5 to 10 minutes, but some ended up taking up to half an hour each. And that's because counter staff experienced a technical glitch with the Ticketmaster website that prevented them from checking out. Other post offices across the island also reported the same issue.
I was really stressed out because I sort of gave up halfway because there's nothing they could do. But then I think the counter lady was really nice. She kept refreshing and then for some miraculous reason it just got through.
There was a lot of payment error and error with the website, which was strange because we thought Singapore would have a smoother process lah. So it was very scary. Yeah, now I kept thinking, why is my luck so bad? But yeah, finally after half an hour.
Slowly but surely, those in the queue got their tickets. Some who were prepared to miss the concert already had backup plans in mind.
If we don't get a ticket, we might be camping outside the National Stadium to hear the concert from the outside. Yeah.
I felt that I was not gonna get it anyways at the counter. Yeah, and it's okay because I think people are reselling it, so I may get that instead.
Scalpers have been quick to take action, with VIP packages for two going for as high as $18,000, more than 7 times what they're worth. But whether these will be snapped up remains to be seen.
Earlier, we spoke to Joe Escobedo, Adjunct Lecturer of Marketing Department at NUS Business School, on how fans can avoid getting scalped and falling prey to scams.
If you are a fan of some of these acts, subscribe to their social media channels or their newsletter, because they usually provide a heads up for the fans on when they're going to produce tickets in certain areas. There's a lot of different factors in play when it comes to regulations. Now, the challenge with that is if some of these ticket scalpers or bots are taking place overseas, then it's much more difficult to reinforce and prosecute some of those folks. But if you are, a local concert ticket, you might want to look at also developing fan communities as well too. So this is something I think that if you are, producing some of these concert events, can you create some, exclusive behind-the-scenes virtual tours or exclusive merchandise for the fans? I think that'll help build and connect the the fans with the artists themselves. I was also thinking this morning it's an opportunity for, let's say, local F&B outlets, that if I want to host a Taylor Swift live stream viewing at my outlet, everyone who's bought a live stream ticket can come down. They can still get the feeling of dancing and interacting with some of their friends in an establishment. So I think that might be one way to bring that personal presence and combining that with live stream.
And that's exactly what's happening in Singapore's tourism industry. Market players, from booking agents to hotels, they've already begun cashing in on this concert mania. Travel platform Klook launched tour packages like this, up to 5,000 Sing dollars for 2 concert tickets and a room in a hotel of their choosing. They were sold out within 6 hours. And most buyers came from the Philippines, followed by fans from Singapore. For online travel agency Agoda, this is a familiar picture. They saw searches for bookings and hotels jump nearly 9 times when British band Coldplay opened ticket sales in June.
When it comes to booking in advance, the first thing that comes is the hotel. So where we see the demand right now is in hotel. Think about that attractions are normally booked very close to the traveling dates. So as of now, the demand is mostly on hotels.
For Millennium Hotels, which owns 6 hotels here in Singapore, bookings are already streaming in around key concert dates in March next year. It's also thinking of tailoring to fans as it forecasts they will make up a large share of hotel room demand.
With Taylor Swift concert, we will have a take up perhaps maybe 5 to 10% in terms of bookings for our entire group. So that's quite significant, bearing in mind that we have over 2,600 rooms in Singapore.
For more on concert tourism, we speak to Associate Professor Lau Kong Chin from the Singapore University of Social Sciences. Professor Lau, we just heard that Millennium Hotels, the gentleman there saying bookings for the entire group up maybe 5 to 10% just on account of Taylor Swift's concert. So sounds like good news, but if you look at the Singapore economy, larger picture, do concerts like these add actual value to the Singapore economy?
I think there are 2 perspectives of it. It can be direct and indirect. Direct, of course, besides hotels that are being filled up, you're going to have a lot of visitors, besides coming for the concert. They'll be visiting a lot of our entertainment spots, our F&Bs, our retails, and all this could benefit from this. And you can, from statistics, you could see that pre-COVID, tourism contributes to about 5% to our GDP. And that's quite a lot. And, we have to make up for lost time. I think as of this year, the tourism arrival is only probably about 1/3 to half from what I've read. So it's really good for our economy and for our local industries that really depends on tourism to fill up the revenue. Of course, the other perspective is it's time to build up our Singapore brand as a destination brand. Over the last 2 years, I think sometimes it could be out of sight, out of mind. People have forgotten Singapore, and with such a eventful concert coming, plus other concerts like Coldplay, I think this will make people around the region to sit up and take notice of Singapore again as a vibrant city that offers a lot of excitement.
Professor Lau, you mentioned the Coldplay concert, and then, of course, we've been talking about the Taylor Swift concert. 2 very big names, and they draw huge crowds, but that isn't always the case. Concerts are seasonal as well. How can we ensure that this positive spin-off that we're seeing with other sort of sectors benefiting as well, the F&B industry, hotels, how can we ensure that it's sustainable in the longer term?
I think what's important is planning. I think pre-COVID, I think we have started exploring getting concerts in to attract tourists apart from our MICE industry. I think you can recall 2019, we have BTS here, one of the largest sellout tickets with 45,000 spectators. And again, going forward, I think the strategy is to plan. We can't have a concert every other month, right? Because we need to select the right concert, the right group that has, or artist that has the number of followers and the segmentation as well. You can see that even for Taylor Swift and Coldplay, you have a different target audience, different group of fans, and probably with the K-pop like BTS, definitely another group of fans. So with a good planning, and of course we are always without concerts. With concerts we are able to fill up the low periods where we do not have enough MICE events or other events to draw in the number of tourists that could contribute to our economy in Singapore.
Professor Lau, you mentioned, and so far we've heard you are looking ahead. So whether it's branding, better branding, planning ahead, the fact is quite a few choices. Taylor Swift right now, Coldplay, they've already chosen to come to Singapore as a choice venue in Asia. Why is it even now Singapore has these many attributes that makes it a choice venue for so many similar large-scale concerts?
I think Singapore over the years have put the pieces together. Of course, some of them comes natural, particularly like our location and positioning in Asia. We have many countries around us, and we are the airport hub of this region with a lot of direct flights. That gives a lot of convenience for regional fans to fly in. And our infrastructure, you can see that we have one of the best transport systems in Singapore. We have, with a city within a country, we have a lot of hotels interconnected. We have a lot of F&Bs that we have been cultivating. And of course, recently we have seen they have a lot more Michelin Award F&Bs that are again give the gastro experience for visitors. And of course, another thing is important is security. I think 2-3 years ago, there was a research done, and I think we were ranked #1 in Asia in terms of personal safety. So I think this gives a lot of visitors confidence in coming to Singapore. Particularly if you come to concerts where you have huge crowd, you have confidence that there will not be a riot, there will be you won't have crowd going out of control and stuff like that. So that's another big factor I think most people will be looking at, and of course a very stable political climate here that you come to Singapore, you're not going to have riots and things like that. So all these pieces coming together, we have a right I would say optimum ecosystem of factors that really make Singapore a conducive place to hold events such as concerts and also sports events that we have. Recently, we have esports and I think down the road we have invited two big football clubs, Bayern Munich and Liverpool, over for their friendly games as well. So all this makes people think that Singapore has the right conditions to make the visit here really experiential.
Oh, thanks so much for sharing your insights with us this evening. Associate Professor Lau Kong Chin from the Singapore University of Social Sciences.